Today I sit down with Callie Linder from Salon Bohème. This is Headphones Recommended. This is Michael with Headphones Recommended. Thank you for tuning in. Today I'm sitting down with Callie Linder from Salon Bohème. Callie, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and so let's just jump right into it. You're episode number 1. Who are you?
I am a wife and a mom and a 4-H leader, hairdresser, business owner, volunteer, community advocate.
Just checking them off as you go. Yeah.
All the things.
All the things. And so let's talk specifically about before you were a hairdresser, right? Let's talk about where did that start? When did you know that you wanted to be a hairdresser?
When I was in 6th grade.
6th grade specifically?
6th grade.
What was the moment?
My Aunt Nancy worked at Ardell's Salon that is still in business on Commercial Street, and when I went in there, I decided I wanted to be a hairdresser.
Yeah, and for those of you who might not be in the area, this is in the area that's commercial in Astoria, Oregon. And so, what was it about going into that shop that you just knew it was going to be for you?
I liked the busyness. I liked all the women that were in there that left feeling pretty. I liked the odd smell of perm solution.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I liked all of it.
Yeah, it just spoke to you.
Yeah.
All right, and so what'd you do with it?
So when I graduated from high school in 1994, I graduated in June and I started beauty school in September. And in 1995, I graduated in February of that year, and I started my first job at Hair Extremes on 8th Street in Astoria.
And before you went to beauty school, you practiced on friends or family?
No, not really.
No, you just knew this is what I want to do. And the going to beauty school, did that really confirm it for you?
Beauty school is a place that you get your license. You don't necessarily learn all the things you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
My instructor actually told me I'd never make more than minimum wage as a hairdresser. So I showed her.
Do we want to call her out by name?
No.
We don't need to. You know who you are. You were wrong. And so so you get your first job, right? Now is it more like an apprenticeship at that point then?
No, I was actually started out as an independent contractor, so I paid monthly rent to the 2 ladies who offered me a job while they were actually in the beauty school getting a pedicure is when I met them.
Yeah.
And so I paid my monthly rent and I was responsible for everything. All my supplies, all my, getting a clientele, running my own advertising. At the time we ran newspaper ads and telephone book ads. They were very expensive and not great. No,
no, reach isn't great.
No.
With those. But and this is something I'm just learning. Is this how most hairdressers operate, through a contract? Where they actually rent a booth? Okay.
In Oregon, it's very popular to be an independent contractor.
Okay, and that's and that makes you almost you're an entrepreneur at that point, because the success or failure of you at that point, you get to rent the space, but your success is based on how well you're treating your clients and how well you're getting more clients, right?
It is, but I think it also has a lot to do with the salon that you're in and the environment that you're in. I have girls that have worked for me that left the salon and went to work at banking jobs and other jobs because they just didn't have the clientele. I think the salon you work in matters.
Okay, awesome. So, give me a snapshot. You went 10 years before you actually opened your own shop, correct? Yes. And during that time, what was that time like for you?
It was not always easy. It was a little bit of a struggle. I actually left, I left a salon job and went and did purchasing for a manufacturing company because I couldn't make rent or support myself or pay my own bills. Thankfully, I was living with my parents at the time. Because I think it's not as easy as people think. I'm going to go to beauty school and the clients are going to just follow me, which is not the case.
Yeah.
So I think when I decided to open my own salon, I wanted to be more than a rent collector. I wanted to build women and be their mentor and help them build their business and be better hairdressers.
Yeah.
And realize that you can actually make a living at this, and you have to treat it like a job.
Yeah.
It's fun. We get to do lots of fun things.
Mm-hmm.
It's creative and it's artistic, but it's still work.
Yeah.
So if you don't treat it like work, it's not going to pay your bills.
Right. I like that. You wanted to be more than just a rent collector.
Yes.
I like that. And so, and you touched on a really good point. Like it's individuals, they'll have this dream, they'll have this goal, this thing that they really want to accomplish, and it's really easy to romanticize the process, right? That you are going to, like, if I get A, B, C, and D done, I'm set. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great, right? Did you find that your path? I mean, you've already kind of hinted on this, but your path wasn't exactly linear. Right? No.
And I don't think it ever is. I mean, I've been a hairdresser for 25 years and I still don't know what I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And things are changing so fast, and expectations of people are different since the inception of things like Pinterest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So people have unrealistic expectations of what is possible, and they want it done for $50. Even though a Pinterest picture is not styled by them, it's, colored. It could have been multiple sessions of the hair color process, hair extensions. It's not all their hair. It's not always reality.
And so, man, I'm gonna stick on that for just a moment. How often is that? Like, how often is that the case where somebody would just bring in? Like, do people typically just bring in like photos on their phone? I'm gonna say I'm guilty. I do that. I do that almost every single time. Hello, Ryan Reynolds. Thank you for the hairstyle.
You're welcome, Canada.
Like, is that common? Is that helpful?
It is common, and we want that. We want you to bring inspiration pictures, but we also want you to have realistic expectations, which any good hairdresser will help you unpack that, so that you know that what you're asking for, what it's actually going to take to achieve that.
Yeah. No, I went in once, and I was it was probably in my early 20s, and I stepped into a salon. I'd never been in there. The hairdresser didn't know me. And I walked in, and I was absolutely convinced that I needed a high and tight. Like, I really, really wanted one. And the hairdresser just kind of politely looked at me and like, son, you're not going to be able to pull that off. Like, you don't have it in you, And it's I felt like it was almost like a speech, like, you're not tough enough to pull this off, right? It's kind of the feel that I end up getting from it. But she ended up giving me a great haircut. I don't know who you are, where you are, but thanks.
On that note, also, I think it's important for us also. I couldn't give you a high and tight because I don't know how to do it.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's also important as hairdressers to say, I don't know how to do a high and tight, and if I try, it's not going to be what you want.
So let's talk about, like, we're still before you opened your own shop. Did you have experiences like that as a hairdresser where it was, you had this moment where like, yeah, I think I could do that, and then it just isn't working out the way that you planned? Or was it mostly just like, I know what I'm good at, I know where I'm at, I know where I'm going to stay and play, and you just stayed in there?
I knew I could do it. I didn't know everything I didn't know, though. So I am good behind the chair. I am a terrible bookkeeper. So I just know that I have to hire someone to help me with my books.
Yeah.
So I have someone that helps me with the things that I'm not good at. I also have more than one mentor for myself, which I think is vital in any business or when you're trying to do anything. So I have a mentor that is in my business, and I've known him for a long time, and he mentors me on the salon side of things. But then I also have another mentor that helps me on the business side of things, and they both tell me what I need to hear, not what I want to hear.
So important. Excellent. So you've had your experience. At what point did you know that you wanted to open your own shop?
I don't know at what point it was exactly. I just knew that I wanted it to be different than it was. Like the standard, I don't want my place to be a place of gossip and cattiness and drama and what a typical hairdresser kind of I just don't want that in my business. I want this to be a place of safety and empowerment and you feeling like your best self. But I also want you to feel comfortable enough if that you're having a rotten day that you can come in your pajamas and bring your coffee and know that you're safe here.
Yeah.
We don't even have gossip magazines. I don't carry any of that kind of stuff because I don't think any good comes from it.
Yeah.
So I want this to be a very safe, comfortable, welcoming home for people.
Awesome. And so you would, yeah, and so, and we're not putting anybody on blast or anything like that, but you just didn't feel like you were experiencing that level, and you knew that you could create that with your own shop. All right, so talk me up to it. So you've realized that you want something different. You realize that you feel like you can create the shop that you want to work at, and that you would want to attend, that you'd want to show up to. What was the process that you went through to be able to get your own shop started?
Well, my first little salon was about 500 square feet. It was on Duane Street. And it was just me, and I had another girl that eventually had come on, and it was little and very intimate, and I'm the personality, I always want more and moving forward, and so I actually renovated the beauty school building on Commercial Street into a salon, and I didn't have enough girls to pay the rent. I could pay the rent myself for a while, but it wasn't going to be sustainable. And eventually it filled up with girls, and we actually moved here 9 years ago. Not that it was bigger, it's just a better use of space.
Yeah, it's a great space too.
And since then, I don't have a lot of turnover. And I usually have, if I do lose someone, they're either opening their own salon, which I am thoroughly happy for, and I want to see all of them succeed. And we, thankfully, when we get new girls in the salon, it doesn't take them very long to build their own clientele. I think because we've just established structure and how we do things is always consistent. We have real business hours. We don't have ish hours. We only do work by appointment because we've been so lucky to have such a large clientele.
So no walk-ins.
No
surprises.
No.
And we talk about like building independent clientele. Is it really like that? Because I'm another one that will just walk into a place or or reserve and schedule an appointment for a place, and we'll just like take whoever's available first, right, or whatever. Is it? Do you see a lot like our clients? Like, are they? Do they really just like pick their stylist, stay with their stylist? Do they share clients ever?
So we do have a lot of people who pick their stylists and only go to, I have clients that will only come to me, but I also have clients who are free to go to whoever they want to. We have what I call an open chair policy because we have 6 hairdressers. They get to decide who they want to do their hair. So it might not always be me that is the fit for you, but I want you to stay in the salon. So you're free to choose who you want to go to, and there's no hard feelings. There's no weird, icky feeling, or we don't want, it's the same, we have 2 nail techs. We want you to go what works best for your schedule. And a lot of us don't work on Saturdays anymore because I want to be with my kids and my husband on the weekend.
We're recording this on a Sunday, so thank you again for coming in. I'm stealing you away from your family.
That's okay.
Yes.
So we do get walk-ins, but it's generally we can't take walk-ins.
Okay. So let's talk about so early years. You've got the smaller space. How long were you in the smaller space?
Okay, I think I was in the small space for 2 years. And then I moved, I think 4 in the next.
4 in the next. And you had to do a reno on that building before you actually went in? And so, all right.
We laid new floor, did new paint, hung lights, new shampoo bowls.
Did you ever have a thought, so you've left the small space, you've gone into that larger space, and you said you had a little bit of difficulty sometimes getting stylists in. and the getting enough so that you make sure that you're covering rent, you're taking care of everything. Did you ever have a moment where you thought, like, was this the right choice?
Not really. I just always knew. I always knew it didn't make sense on paper, but it made sense in my heart.
Yeah.
And I just knew. So my husband and I had gone over the numbers, and it didn't ever make sense. But it makes sense now.
Yeah, the math didn't work then.
Yeah.
But it flowed.
Yep.
And it worked.
And it was hard, and I worked a lot of hours, and I went in early, and I thought it was a good idea to start my salon when my son was just a few months old.
Okay.
So then I had my daughter less than 2 years later, and then I opened a bigger salon. So it was not easy.
No, it doesn't sound like a relief.
Which is now, I spent a lot of time in the salon when they were little, and I'm not going to do that anymore.
Yeah.
So I try to be home when they get home from school, and I have a very few clients that I come in on Saturday for, and no new clients on Saturdays.
No new client. Okay. All right. I'll book for another time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So, what was it like? Now, are you feeling like you mentioned earlier that you're the kind of person that always like sees the bigger option or sees the next opportunity or can picture it bigger. Is this your space? You've been in this space for like 9 years now.
I have been in this one for 9 years.
Is this home? I'm seeing the hesitation a little bit. It's all right. It's all right.
Probably not forever. I can't say. I am a wild dreamer. And I have wild dreams of like bigger with like education, a blowout bar. I always have things in my wheelhouse that also don't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But they're in there wheeling around.
And I'm gonna interrupt for just a moment. Would you explain for those who don't know what a blowout bar is? What is a blowout bar?
So a blowout bar is someplace that you would go only to get your hair styled, shampooed, styled.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes there's women who only get their hair washed a couple times a week.
Yeah.
So you would come in and get a really good blowout hairstyle.
Yeah.
And then, sometimes women like to do it on Friday night. But there's a lot of salons in bigger cities that you have to work at their blowout bar before you can work in their salon.
Okay.
So they know that you know how to style hair.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Awesome. Before we take the break, tell me about your experience the first day, like as much as you remember, or what that experience was like. That first day that you opened your own shop, you turned the lights on, you unlocked the door. What was that like?
It was a long time ago.
About 15 years ago now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that I was by myself, and I don't even know.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about it in a long time.
Do you remember what?
I know I had a terrible haircut.
If we can get a hold of one of those pictures and to put up.
I have one.
Yeah. And so I'm gonna do my best to convince Callie that she needs to send me one of those photos for the video portion of this. But yeah.
Yeah. I can't even tell you. It's been so long.
It says something about a person that they are a true hairdresser when the memory that they have of opening their first business was the hairstyle they had at that time.
It was a bad one.
Oh, I love it. So we're going to take a quick break. Again, I'm here with Kyla Linder from Salon Bohème. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about what's the experience of managing your own business. We'll talk further about the future of Salon Bohème, and then also get into some details on maybe some advice for other individuals who would like to have a dream of starting their own business. So, hang tight. We'll be right back. Well done. Ready? And we are back with Kyla Linder from Salon Bohème. So, Kyla, I'd like us to just play around right now on the topic of what's the experience of owning your own business. What's the experience of running your own salon? Tell us what's that like? What are the unique challenges or the unique things that you just really enjoy about it?
I think all business owners are kind of the same brain.
How so?
We think think about the what ifs, the could haves. You know, what if I would have done this? What if I do that? We're always looking ahead at what the next step is, or at least we should be.
Yeah.
I'm an information craver, so I like to look at what's coming, what the trends are, and that sort of thing. So I get up early and, you know, scan social media, watch YouTube. I don't have Pinterest, but I see all those pictures. And for me, because all the people that work here are independent, I still want their success also. So while I'm not responsible for their business, I feel responsible for their success.
Yeah.
So I worry about their schedules, and, you know, I love all the girls that work here. We truly are a pretty close family.
Yeah.
So when one's down, we do our best to get them back up.
And how many stylists do you have here? You said 6?
So I have 6 stylists, 2 nail techs, an esthetician, and a massage therapist.
What is an esthetician?
Esthetician does like facials and chemical peels. Our girl Candy mostly does lash extensions, brow waxing, that sort of thing.
Yeah. And so total, I'm sorry, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10?
Yeah.
All told?
Yeah.
Wow. How much responsibility do you take in making sure that they have what they need in order to be successful?
I am like the mama. So I will, you know, talk through problems. We'll work through things. We, thankfully, in a big salon, we can brainstorm, you know, through color corrections and things like that. But, you know, very often we'll, even through the weekend, have to work through problems with, you know, any sort of service, but sometimes just a personality issue. If we're having an issue with a hard to deal with client, I'm not ever going to be like, they're your clients, you deal with it, because I still think that even though they work for themselves, they have to have a leader, and I want them to know that they can always count on me, that I will always go to bat for them. They can always call. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Makes it sound like the driving focus, or what I'm hearing is making sure that you're the support that's in place.
Yes.
Right? Like they need to do their job. They need to have, you know, they need to put in the hours. They need to make sure that they're keeping up on their craft. But you're here to make sure and support them so that they can be successful.
Yes.
Awesome. That's great. And so you kind of touched on it a little bit, but what are some unique challenges that you see here?
Like in the business, or
let's say
with each other, or
somebody,
in the whole as a whole?
I'm going to let you, I'll explain and then I'll let you just kind of pick up as to where you want to go with it. Whether an individual wants to be a hairdresser, you know, and they want to, you know, they want to rent a station, they want to do that, or for an individual who owns a salon. What are some unique experiences or some unique challenges that they could experience in there that they should be prepared for? And let's start with hairdresser, because I would imagine that the normal timeline is that, you know, you learn your craft, hone your craft, become exceptional at that before you decide that you're going to pick up and run your own salon potentially. So
I think that sometimes we get out of beauty school and we get to work, and then we're like, where is all the clients? And then instead of doing marketing, we jump to offering discounts.
Yeah.
So instead of showing people that what our value is, we're like, I just need someone to get in the door. So you can actually market your business for free now. So I believe, I mean, I have been at it for 25 years and I market every day. I think that because they don't teach you business in beauty school, you don't know what you need to do. And if you're not in the right space, you're not going to know what you need to do. And we lose good hairdressers because they get discouraged and frustrated, and they feel like they can't pay their bills. So they go to work at a bank, or tending bar, or waitressing, or which are all good things. But if your passion is cutting hair, I want you to cut hair.
Yeah. And so how many of the 10 employees you have here are like on a percentage like actively just market themselves on social media?
We have a menagerie. We have some that don't do any, and we have some that do.
Yeah. So they kind of find the thing that works for them.
Yes.
Right.
Thankfully, our business is overflowing with clients,
Mm-hmm.
which we are so grateful for.
Yeah.
I wish sometimes that we could take a deep breath,
Yeah.
especially at times like Christmas and things like that.
Uh-huh.
But it's so good, and it makes me so happy when
Yeah.
this place is like bursting at the seams.
And let's talk about that. Let's play in there for just a moment. The as an owner and operator, like you're here day in and day out. How many times a year do you get to just say, I'm going to take a week, or I'm just going to take a little bit of time, and you just step back from the salon?
I feel like I can go when I need to go as long as I plan ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So I am on the fair board for our county, and I am a 4-H leader.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very involved in the county fair. I love Fair Week.
Yeah.
It's my favorite week of the whole year, and I'm not here that week. My husband works for a agriculture dealership, and sometimes he gets to go on trips, and I'll get to go, and so I get to go if I want to go.
Yeah.
As does everybody else. We just have to plan accordingly.
Yeah. And so it's not and how long did it take into the business, before you felt comfortable doing that? Before you felt comfortable just taking time to yourself and making sure? Because you talked about at the start, you were like there early in the morning and always there and really, really working. How long until you felt comfortable just kind of making sure that you were taking time, or was that a self-care discipline that you've just always been good at?
I have not always been good at it.
Uh-huh.
When we moved here and the team that I have now, I am 100% sure that they can take care of everything that needs to be taken care of when I'm not here. There isn't anything that could happen that they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I always also am available by phone, but I know that they care about our business as much as I do.
Yeah.
So I'm confident in every girl that works here that they can handle it if I'm not here.
What's the best part? What's the best part about as working as a hairdresser, owning your own salon? This part you love the most?
There's probably more than one thing that I love the most.
Let's
I
hear it.
love to see the girls that work here get excited about something that they've done. I mean, even 25 years later, I still have the jump up and down feeling after I do a hair color that like knocks it out of the park.
Yeah.
I love when I see their excitement in something that they've tried that they've been afraid to do,
Mm-hmm.
and then succeed at it. I love when clients come in and they are happy to see everyone and they're hugging people and talking to people, and I love when they leave happy.
Mm-hmm.
It gets a little loud in here, as you
Yeah.
can imagine.
Uh-huh.
But I truly feel like the people that come here feel at home here,
Yeah.
which I love that if they wanted to come and spend the whole day and drink coffee, I'm happy to have them.
Awesome. Let's touch a little bit on some advice for, let's say that there's young folks listening, or some folks that have decided that, becoming a hairdresser, cutting hair was something they've always wanted to do, and they're just not sure that they can, or they're not sure what that first step's supposed to be. What's some advice for individuals that want to make hairdressing a career?
I think they need to spend some time in salons, like real time, not coming in and sitting on their phone, sitting at the reception area. They
Yeah.
need to be like in. All of our clients know that if there's someone in here that's job shadowing, that they're going to be with us, and they're going to be with us in conversations and consultations, and spending the whole day together, so that they can actually see that yes, it's fun, but it's also work.
Yeah.
I think that they need to go to more than one salon and have that experience, and I think that they need to do it more than one time at a salon, because it gives you a better eye opening of what the fantasy in your head looks like.
Yeah.
I also think that they need to find a mentor that is going to tell them the hard things, that will help you with social media, that will help you build your business, will answer hard questions, that can be available to, even if you're trying to formulate a color formula, that they can be like, I don't know what to do, can you help me? You know, because there's really great salons that just have a couple people. Thankfully, we have a lot of people that we can unpack color correction with. But I think that it's important that we have a community, and I think it's possible because we're all on the same team.
Yeah.
And I want people to know they can always call here, even other salon owners. I mean, I mentor a couple salon owners in town.
Yeah.
And we're all on the same team.
How would you advise someone to find a mentor?
I think you can have a mentor that they don't even know they're your mentor. But I also think you can call and say, you know what, would it be okay if I called you sometimes? I doubt that you're going to ever be told no.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially
Awesome.
if you have a hairdresser or a salon owner that has been in the business a long time. We know all the things.
Yeah.
So, and I don't have all the answers, but I know a lot of people who might have the answers.
Yeah.
So there's always a road to success. You just have to be willing to ask the questions.
And then sticking with advice, but in the broader terms, what advice would you give to someone who's considering that they want to open their own business, but they're not really sure when the right time is for them?
I'm not sure there's ever going to be a right time. You're never going to have enough money to have kids. You're never going to have, it's not ever going to be perfect. There's going to always be bumps in the road. And if you want to do it, do it.
Yeah.
I will say though, if you're going to be in, you got to be all in. Even when you're just a hairdresser and you're not owning a salon, you need to be all in.
Yeah.
Because if you are half in and then you're half in on another job, pretty soon your job that you get a consistent paycheck wins.
Yeah.
Because then you stop coming to work, or you stop. When I started at my first job at Hair Extremes, I stood in that building all day long waiting for someone to walk in. You cannot take clients if you're not at work.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard to build a clientele, and if you want to do it, you have to put in the work.
Yeah. Especially when you're taking out newspaper ads.
Yeah, which at the time, newspaper ads were expensive, hundreds of dollars. I think our phone book ad was $700, which I can't even imagine anymore,
No. As opposed to just,
Google.
logging on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. As we're wrapping up, how many people did you have who told you that maybe owning your own salon wasn't the best idea? Do you have any naysayers?
If I did, they didn't say it.
You didn't have anybody that was in your circle who was like, have you thought this through?
I probably had one, with good reason.
Yeah.
But we did it anyways.
Yeah. And it's a question. This is a question that I've asked a lot of folks so far, and the common theme is, and you're touching on this now, is really just trusting your vision and trusting yourself, and just getting out there, doing it, and making it happen.
Yes, because I definitely am the type that if you tell me I can't, I'll show you I can.
Yeah. Okay.
Which I think a lot of business owners are. But I just recently was in South Carolina at a business conference, and one of the speakers said, her name was Mally Roncall, she said, you have to listen to your whisper.
Your whisper.
Your whisper. And I knew I could do it. And my whisper said, I know you can do it.
Whisper being like that little voice.
The little voice in your head.
Yeah.
And I know that sometimes the whisper tells you can't. You just have to tell Karen to shut it.
Your whisper's name is Karen.
Maybe.
I love it. We're going to end on that because I love it. And so, Callie, thank you so much for sitting down with me and for walking me through this. This has been absolutely great. And for everybody that's listening, thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, please remember, go on, subscribe to the podcast, hit those notification buttons so that you don't miss a single episode. Callie, anything as we go?
I don't think so. Thank
We're
you
good.
for having me.
All right, absolutely, my pleasure. All right, for everybody else, until then, get to it.